Welcome to Daily Fortune, where we talk about the latest topic about finance and investment. But before that, please don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll know when I upload new videos. Now, let's get started. Since we've learned what it meant to live life, I'm not so sure if there are people who never dreamt of becoming rich. I mean, that could be the whole humanity's common denominator, to become rich. Or I think it's just different for the rich ones. For them, it's to be richer. Or, let's not judge, maybe for them, it's just to have peace. That means wherever you are in the realm, the end line is to reach the top 20% of the society. That's where the blood made out of gold resides. So if you think you're among those who are poor, that's right, you belong to the bottom 20%. Of course, the exact opposite of the ones in the top 20%. But, don't you know, even when you're poor, you can actually call yourself rich. You just need to belong to a population whose 80% of it has a life harder and that are a little lesser than the one you have. If we do the math and apply the said 20% rule, then the 80% below will basically never be rich, as they could not surpass the 20%. The 80% would remain poor. Technically, by using the wealth and lavishness of people as a measurement, the whole population could not be in the 20% because there would be no sense to it. The numbers would not add up if all of the people goes to the 20%, as again, people have different digits in their bank accounts and even countries are sorted according to its level of economic stability. Another way of making the same point is how different the quality of life of the people is before and at the present. Due to different factors such as technological advancements and new discoveries, people today are able to enjoy a much higher standard of living compared to our ancestors who lived centuries ago. Fun fact about standard living is that people not belonging to the 0.001% of the bottom of the whole population are considered to have been enjoying a higher quality of living than most kings and queens that ever existed. Isn't that mind-blowing? If an individual during the 1600s or prior happened to be enjoying the title as a king and acquired a certain disease, it would most probably be winged through witchcraft and alcohol that we now frown upon. If a person from the past, probably from the 1600s or before, would meet a person from the present, they would refuse to believe that presently we create plans and ensure ourselves at 40, while in the past at 40, they're probably just hanging out one time and die mysteriously after a day or two. People today are indeed living a more comfortable and convenient life compared to before, with all the gadgets that quickens processes, medicines that are stored in edible capsules, and liberation of people. However, this does not abolish the fact that the population belonging to the 0.02% to 80% still would not be able to feel rich according to the 20% rule. The truth is, most people don't make it to the 20% in terms of living conditions because first, in a macro level of perspective, an individual's access to different aspects is important, such as information, resources, culture, and infrastructure. This refers to how the government handles the country and the citizens. This topic is something that the poor people would spend a day talking about because it gives them a passage out saying that it's something they have no control over. Technically speaking, the government is the one who is supposed to spend the people's taxes and money on something that everyone can benefit from. Unfortunately, for most struggling countries, the government is corrupt and worsens the situation by building nonsensical infrastructure only to come out useless and eventually be abandoned. Another reason why most people don't make it to the 20% in terms of living conditions is because on a micro scale, people are afraid to commit to success because it requires sacrifices and probably some losses now and then, and nobody wants to lose anything at all. This fact is a lot harder to accept because an individual cannot blame the government or another person for being part of the 80%. This doing is all his and his alone. But what's harder is that no matter how they try to, you'll never know what will happen, and the fact that unlike others, you don't have a fallback will make it more dangerous. Maybe instead of defeating your fate and making your societal position better, you end up destroying your future even more. The fact alone that you don't have the privilege to build another bridge, to succeed in making yourself belong to the top 20%, or the thought you can't have any room for mistakes, and is not allowed to make one wrong move, because unlike others, you don't have anything to keep you floated when you're still in the process of searching and trying new things to make your supposed life easier. In a population, only a small percentage of this, mostly men, is willing to spend years of work and stumble upon failures with a low chance of success for financial gain and acquire better quality of living. No country is exempted from this truth. Some people may have been conceived and birthed with a silver spoon in their mouths, while others strive hard to make ends meet. But for some people, silver spoons can be temporary comfort, and making ends meet can be exhausting. This mindset is the mindset of people who started with nothing but morphed to become something great. The famous author of the Harry Potter series, J.K. Rowling, was unemployed and broke, relying mostly on state benefits, and was rejected by different publishers a few times before making a breakthrough. Today, she is the only author to earn $1 billion through novels and such. So yes, it is undoubtedly possible. For some people, the road behind success is not acknowledged or is simply ignored because the road tells the story of sacrifices and failures. No one wants that boring story. People only want to know the result, but never the story. Billionaires like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, among others, you know them by what they invented and how far they've come up to this day. But the effort and how they got to where they are right now, no one exactly knows. No one exactly knows that it contains the loneliness that had to be endured after leaving the familiar town you grew up in to look for better opportunities. It holds the horror of the unknown. It expresses the risks that the 80% would never, in a million years, experience. The bottom 80% is ready to relive their parents' lives without extraordinary breakthroughs. Another sacrifice that only a few would willingly do is delay gratification and ensure the future by making the present significant. The questions that separates the 20% from the 80% are you willing to work and possess improved skills while your peers are out partying and getting entertained? Or would you be okay with being laughed at for being too ambitious and continuing even after several failures? If your answer is yes, then congratulations, you do not belong to the average 80%. But if you feel like these are too much of a sacrifice, then sadly you belong to the average 80%. You don't have to be disheartened though, because you can always reassess yourself and create a better version of yourself. Maybe aim to be part of the 20%. Most people, specifically the 80%, would not dare try any sacrifices for delayed gratification, and if trying ever crosses their minds, quitting would be next. The thing is, delayed gratification is a process, and its effects can only be felt when you win until the very end. Quitting at 99.9% on the way would mean losing. No bargains. The sacrifices bear the price of gratification, which is wealth, because this is how the society we live in works. Of course, you cannot disregard the power of luck and timing. Being able to survive this hostile world, having no major disabilities that hinder you from reaching your dreams, and the likes are considered work of luck. In addition, being educated and having access to technology is a great opportunity other people strive hard to earn. Clearly, our generation has been spoiled with the internet, but who knows what the next generation will utilize to build wealth. To be very frank, people who are born today, in the years to come, might find social media platforms such as TikTok and Instagram an ancient form of showing off, and communication like how we perceived Friendster in the 21st century. Successful people have to learn how to utilize what they have and make something useful out of it. Most people do not know how to do so, and thus this becomes your edge among others. Later on, you'll find yourself getting paid for being innovative and different. So that's it for today. I hope you learned something from today's video, and to get updated with the next videos, please don't forget to hit the notification bell. See you next time!